Well, hello everybody. I hope everybody can hear me. Let me just put more. Let me hear. Okay, can I hear myself? Let me put that up a little bit. Can see myself. Let me hear what it sounds like here. Hello, hello. Yep. Put your thumbs up if you can hear me. Let's test the chat. Let me say hello in the chat. Um, can anybody hear me? Buddy, hear me? Put your thumbs up if you can hear me on the chat or smiley emoticon or just a wavy of a hand. I see you waving hands there. Let's see what happens if I press it. Oh, great. I can do that. Let's see if I put 100%. Okay, everything seems to be good on my side. How are things on your side? Just press a thumbs up or a waving hand. Anybody? Well, I can see that two people are tuned in, but I cannot see. Let me check on my phone. Yeah, let's see what's happening there. Okay, let's see. Let me check on my phone. What's going on here? Are we live? Are we not? What's going on? Okay, nothing's happening there. Let me go on the link. Sorry about that noise. Something is going on outside. They are busy installing a new garage. So I am here in a noisy place, but hopefully it doesn't affect you more. But hopefully it doesn't affect you more. What's going on now? But hopefully it doesn't affect you more. What's going on now? But hopefully it doesn't affect you more. Oh, just put the phone down. Yeah, good. Okay, so I'm going to be checking your messages on my phone here, and hold on, let me close this. Yeah, it'll be better. I'm going to be checking your messages. Let me try to chat from my phone here. Let me just say, put your hands up if you're here. Oh, no. Thumbs up if you're here. Thumbs up if you are here. Or wave. What happens? Do you see? Yeah, you see the message. Loud and clear. Petty says yes. Tabi saying thumbs up. Thank you, guys. Thank you. We're about to start in 5 minutes. Tracy, thumbs up. I see you. I see you, Tracy. Welcome. Letwalo says thumbs up. Thank you. I see you. Ribaone says thumbs up. I see you. Thank you. Well, that's all the confirmation I need. You are here. I am taking a register, by the way. Who's this? Oh, that's my wife. She says yay. She is not here, by the way. She's gone to see her baby sister. Hallie, thumbs up. Thank you, Hallie. 3 more minutes and then we'll get started. So I've prepared a question paper here that we're going to do together. It's based on algebra and functions. Both of those topics you're going to write about on Monday. They are in your test. Remember, you're writing a provincial paper, so yeah, they set it, not me. So, but I've seen the paper. Thank you, Natasha. I see you. Thumbs up. Welcome. Yes. Oh yeah. We are writing a paper on Monday. It's provincial one. It's been nicely set, just 2 topics, functions. Now all the functions are there, let me tell you. Straight line, quadratic, parabola, and what's the last one? It's hyperbola. They are all there combined. So you'll see them. And then algebra, we'll start with algebra because it seems to be the easiest of the lot of the 2 topics. Nompumelelo, I see you. Hey there. Very good. Welcome. Dina, I see you. She says thumbs up. I see you. Yeah, we'll be getting started in 1 minute. So yes, and then algebra, everything is there from equations to simplifying. Everything is there, but we'll go through it. To surds, we'll go through it. Panashe is here. She says thumbs up. Welcome, Panache. We'll get started in 1 minute. 1 minute left, and then we'll get started. I see your messages. I see your thumbs up. Thank you so much for responding. But yes, as I was saying, that it's just those 2 topics, but they go into detail much. So we'll be preparing for that. I've seen the paper. And please, if you have any questions, pop them in the chat, and I will answer in real time. I'll get to answer in real time, but I'll be pretending as if I'm new. Now, what I'll be doing is what you should be doing in the test or exam on Monday. So I'll try my best to be a student today and write like how you should write. Okay, 5 minutes is up. So what I'm going to do now is just share my screen. Hopefully you see it, the entire screen, because you'll need to see my entire screen. So there we go. No, there we go. We have arrived. This is what I want. Okay, so this is your mathematics online revision class. I've got the PDF on the left, and then I've got a Word document on the right. Now, on the Word document, that's where I'll be writing the answers, but it's got questions. And so I'll write the memo here, the answers here of what we'll be doing. And then if you want the memo document, that's what I'll give you. Okay, it will have both questions and answers, as you can see. Now, these are the questions. This is question number 1 now. That's what we'll be starting with. Now, as you know, I'm a very, very big fan of the quadratic equation, because the quadratic equation can solve every quadratic problem, and you don't even have to change signs. Now, please, as we go through this, just remember that for all quadratic problems, I'll be using the quadratic equation. Okay, so here we go. This is what you should be doing in your test on Monday. You are writing on Monday. So, let's start inking. Start with the black pen. First thing you'll do on your paper, after writing your name, of course, you are going to write question 1. So just like this. Question 1 is very important. We like to see this as your teachers. And then you will write 1.1.1. Now, if you start with question 1, you must do all the questions. And then if you decide to go to another question, say question 3, you must do all of them as well. Don't do this thing of saying 1.1.1 and then on the last page, after you're done with the question 4, for example, then you do 1.1.2. We don't like that as teachers. It confuses us. So just do all the questions in one question. Okay, let's get started. So we've got 2x squared minus 7x is equals to 0. Nice and easy. Now what I prefer for you to do, just little labels. This is A and that's B. You can clearly see there's no C, but I'm just going to put it there, that there's a C value, but it's 0. Okay, there's an easier way of factorizing this and solving for X, but I don't want to do the easy way. Okay, I just want to do what works all the time. Okay, factorizing doesn't always work out. So you will write the formula first, minus plus of, as you know, and then it's b squared minus 4ac divided by, oh, I see you, Pablo. Welcome. I see you, Mahime. Welcome. Dirty T. Dirty T cancelled a message. All right, so now I want you to remember that every time you substitute, you must open a bracket. Like you can see B here. The second thing that you must remember is that each and every number goes with its sign. Even if there's no sign there, it's always a positive. Okay, and then plus or minus, and then we will do square root, and then b again, it's minus 7 squared minus 4. A is 2. It's a positive 2. And C is 0. Okay, this always works, ladies and gentlemen. Divided by 2a, and the value of a is just 2. I'm sure some of you are done, solving this. But if you're done solving it, just pop the answer there on the chat, just in case you are quicker than me. Okay, so from this stage, please bring out a calculator like so. And then we'll start with the fraction. And the fraction there, we'll put the negative sign, open the bracket, we'll put negative 7, close that. Let's start with a plus, square root sign, put another bracket, negative 7, you close that, and you square it. Minus 4, and the value for a is 2, close it, open another one, put in a 0, close it. And then come downstairs, put in a 2, open a bracket, put a 2, close it. As you can see, I put it exactly as it is in the calculator. And then I got that the value of x is 7 over 2. Please don't change the sign. I've seen some of you in your tests changing the signs. You don't have to do that with the quadratic equation. Okay, you just pop the answers exactly as they are. Go back to your calculator, scroll back until you get to the positive, delete it, put a minus, and then the other one, you get that x is 0. Okay, so these are your 2 answers. We are done with that. Welcome, Tumelo, I see you. Ari Lekweng, hi back, I see you. So no one was able to solve this faster than I could do it. That's fine. Let's go to 1.1.2. If you have questions, once again, guys, pop it in the chat. I will see. I'll see your messages. Okay, so this one, Once again, this is a quadratic equation. So we're just going to do some mathematical gymnastics, bring this whole side to this side. It becomes x squared minus 12x plus 21. Now that's equals to 0. Let's go for quadratic. Minus b. So I'm going to put a little a there, put a little b there, put a little c there. So for b, it's negative 12 this time, plus or minus square root of b squared, negative 12 squared. Is it minus? I put a plus. Why did I do that? It's a minus here. Oh my. What did I use there? Yeah, I use a minus. That's cool. Minus 4a. The value of a, we need to see the value of a. It is 1 this time. And then the value of c is 21. Okay, this is all over 2 times a. The value of a is 1. Bring back your calculator. Okay, fraction once again. Bokamuso, Sono, I see you. He says thumbs up, I see you. Welcome. Negative, open the brackets. We'll put a negative 12 in there. We'll close that. We'll start with the plus and then square root sign. Open another bracket. Negative 12, close it, square it. Minus 4, open. 1, close, open. 21, close. Put it exactly like how you wrote it. So this one is 2, open, put a 1, and then close. That's going to be equals to that. And now, it's very important to read what the instruction says. Leave it in decimal or third form. Now, this one says 1 decimal place. So correct to 1 decimal place. If it says decimal, then it means I must press SD, change it to a decimal, and then I will have that my first x is equals to 9 point. Now, 7 is bigger than 5, so the 8 changes to a 9, so that's 9.9. Or x is equals to, we have to scroll back now. And then change the positive to a negative and say equals. I don't want it third form, I wanted it decimal. So this one becomes 2 point. They said 1 decimal, so I look at the second value, it's a 2, less than 5, so the 1 stays out 1. Okay, now I've got a comment here. It says, T, work on your speed. I must say I'm working very slowly. I am very slow. You should be faster. Take the total time in minutes and divide it by the total marks, and that should tell you how long you should be spending per mark. Example, 2-hour paper, that's 120 minutes out of 100 marks, so you should be spending 1.2 minutes per mark. I'm spending way more than that, so you should be going quicker tomorrow. I mean on Monday. Okay, the next one, we are now on 1.1.3. We've got 4x squared minus 12x plus 8 greater or less than 0. Once again, quadratic equation, quadratic formula. What's the difference between a quadratic equation and a quadratic formula? Huh? Does anybody know? No? Nobody knows. How does this look similar? Nobody knows. If you know the difference, pop it in the comments there. Let me know what's the difference between a quadratic equation and a quadratic formula. Okay, now I don't want to be rewriting the quadratic equation over and over, so I'll just use it, and that's perfectly fine. Okay, so b, it's minus 12, close it, plus or minus square root b squared minus 12 squared minus 4a. The value of a is 4, and then c is positive 8, all over 2 times the value of a, which is 4. Okay, let's bring back our calculator. As you can see, all these questions work out with a quadratic equation. So good. Okay, I don't have to think much about it. All I have to do is practice the quadratic equation. All right, and then put it exactly as you've written it here. I've got a square root, open, a negative 12, close that, square it, minus 4. The value of a is 4, close that, open, 8, close it, and then come downstairs. We've got a 2, open, put in a 4, close, equals to 2. So now these are our critical points. So I'm just gonna put critical points is x is equals to 2. There is a mark for that. And x, now I'll go back on the calculator here, and I will remove that plus, put a minus, that's equals to 1. So x is also equals to 1. There we go. So those are our critical points. Wow, Natasha, so quick. You got the same answers as myself. Okay, so here we go. Critical points. Well, 1 is here, 2 is here, positive infinity is here, negative infinity is here. Now, I like to separate them like this. I'll put a plus here, a minus, and a plus. Now, depending on what the question wants, does it want a plus or a minus? If it says greater than 0, that means we are looking for a plus, where I have a plus. Now, there are only 3 answers here. Out of the 3, I have to choose the correct ones. There is the one that has a plus, the one that has a minus, and the one that has a plus. So since I'm looking for the one that has a plus, I'm going to take this part and that part. This part is from negative infinity to 1. This one is from 2 to positive infinity. Now, how I write this also matters. There are many ways to write it, but my preferred way is just to write the inequality sign like that to represent this positive part. And also this side, I'll write the same, this inequality sign. And then what I want to do is put the values first. On my left, for this part, this positive one, I have negative infinity. On my right, I have 1. I will put all. And then here on my left, for this positive part, I have 2. And on my right, I have positive infinity. Now, I am going to go back to my inequality sign here. There's an equal sign there. It says greater or equals to 0. And then I'll come and adjust my inequality signs here. When it comes to infinity, it remains as just that. It can never be equals to infinity. But when it comes to this critical value of 1, I will include the equal sign there. When it comes to this critical value of 2, I will include the equal sign because x can be equals to 2. But this side of infinity you can never be equals to infinity. Okay, there's no number that is the biggest number like infinity. You know why? By the way, do you know why we can never have a number that is so big? It's because if you have infinity, you can always say infinity plus one. So whatever number you big number, the biggest number you can think of, you can always say plus one. So that's why it's never equals to infinity. You never know what infinity is. Let me check your messages here. It says, sir, to change signs quicker, you can press the sign on your right instead of left on replay. Petty, I'm not sure what you mean, but noted. Thank you for that. Somebody else understands you. Kensani, thumbs up, welcome. Kamohelo, thumbs up, welcome. Pablo says, sir, the inequality sign is greater or equal. Yes, you are right. And we have corrected that. So we can move on now. Let's now go to question 1.1.4. Square root of 5 minus 2x minus x over 2, and then that's equals to 4. Right. Now, when it comes to these third questions, okay, remember, before you square, everything that is not a third must be on its own side, and the third in itself must also, that changes, must also be on its own side. Basically, it must be the subject of the formula, the third. Now I have a fraction here. I don't like fractions. Let me just get rid of it immediately by multiplying everything by 2. So if I multiply by 2 here, like so, if I say times 2 times 2 times 2, this one will become 2 square root 5 minus 2x is equals to 4 times 2 is 8 plus x. Now that it's like this, I've got the third as my subject of the formula. What I'll do is just put brackets around it, squared. Put brackets, squared. Now if I do this, I square the 2 on its own, it becomes a 4, open bracket. I square the square root, it becomes 5 minus 2x. This side will have, I like to open 2 brackets. You know, it's just safer that way. Make sure that I don't make any mistakes. Open 2 brackets. 8 plus x. Scroll up a little bit. Okay, now I can expand. That times that is 4 times, that's 20. 4 times negative 2 is negative 8x is equals to 8 times 8 is 64. 8 times x is plus 8x. And then x times 8 is also plus 8x. X times x is plus x squared. From this, I want to put everything in one side. So I'll leave the 0 this side, move everything to this side. Okay, so I've got an x squared, it stays alone. X squared. I've got, now in terms of x, I've got 8x plus 8x, that gives me 16x. When this one comes to the other side, it changes sign and it becomes, what's 16 plus 8? Yeah, I forgot. Don't judge me. Use your calculator. Don't guess. So I'll go 16 plus 8. No judgment here. It's 24. So it's plus 24x. Is that correct? And then when it comes to the numbers, I've got 64 And then when this goes to this side, it becomes a negative number. So now I have 64 minus 20. Okay, 44 becomes plus 44. Remember, I'm solving for x here, so it's a quadratic equation. Let's use it. So minus b, so I've got a, b, c. So you see, the whole of algebra, I keep using this, quadratic equation. 24. So you really have to practice. I think this is what Petty was talking about, that changing this plus and minus. There's an easier way of doing it. You're gonna have to show me that. I'm not sure yet how to do that. Okay, so b is 24 squared minus 4. The value of a is 1. The value of c is 44. Right. Divided by 2, and the value of a is 1. Now pop that in your calculator real quick. You're going to say fraction, put a negative, got 24 here, close it, start with the plus. What did I do? And then I'll say square root, there it is. Open again, 24, close, square it, minus 4, open, the value of a is 1, close, open again, 44, close. Then go downstairs, 2 times, don't get tired of doing the right thing. I know 2 times 1 is 2. So my first value of x is equals to negative 2. But don't get tired, guys. Let's just do the right thing. Now I go back there. This is what Petty was talking about. There's an easier way of doing this. I just don't know how. Put a negative there, and then I've got 22 this side. X is equals to negative 22. My numbers are looking a little bit weird, but that's okay. When it comes to these third questions, unfortunately, we have to do a check because one of them might not be true. So how do we do a check? We're just gonna pop in the answer there. Let's start with negative 2. So we'll go square root, and then we'll put 5 minus 2. Substitutions must be done in brackets. The first one is negative 2. That's the one we're checking. Go to the side and say minus, and then we've got a fraction there. X is negative 2 over 2. Does this give us an answer of 4? Yes, it does. So negative 2 checks out. Let's do the same, but this time we are checking what's the other one, negative 22. So I'm just going to pop a 2 there. And my other substitution is in there. So negative 22. What does it give? 18. So that means we reject negative 22. There we go. There is an answer. I mean, there's a mark for rejection. Very good, Natasha. You are getting these answers quicker than I am. I am moving very slow. But as long as you understand, guys, that's all I'm concerned about. Petty says, use the sign on the right instead of left. That's what I meant. Use the sign on the right instead of left. Well, Petty, first of all, I'd like to appreciate you. You are contributing positively in this discussion. Tireleto says, so, sir, we don't say x is equals to plus or minus 2. No. Remember, the quadratic equation gives you the exact answer. Don't change the signs. Don't change them. Okay, don't change the signs. That's what you have to practice with this quadratic equation. Okay, so let's go to 1.1.5 now. And we are given 2 to the power 2x plus 1 plus 5 times 2 to the power x minus 3. This is equals to 0. Okay. Now, the first thing you want to do with these kind of questions is to always break this up. Break it up. So this becomes 2 to the power 2x times 2 to the power 1 plus 5 times 2 to the power x minus 3 equals to 0. For this one, we will use what we call the K method, where we say let K equals to the exponent. So 2 to the power x, the smallest one. Okay, so will you agree with me that 2 for 2 to the power 2x, I have to square 2 to the power x in order to get 2 to the power 2x. So this one starts with k, okay, but I have to square it, and then it's squared, and then times 2 to the power 1, which is just 2, plus 5 times, this one is k again, minus 3 is equals to 0. Now let me put it in a format that you are used to. This becomes 2 to the power k squared plus 5k minus 3 is equals to 0. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, all algebra questions are requiring us to use the quadratic formula. Just use it. That's why it's there. A, that's B, and that's C. And do this little exercise, because sometimes I see it in your test where you swap numbers because you don't do this little exercise. And when the exam pressure is there, you want to make sure that you put the right values in the right places. Because if you don't, that's how you lose marks and everything becomes wrong. And you don't want that. You want to get maximum marks. Okay, AC -3. Looks like Pablo has solved it. What's Pablo saying? X is equal to -1. Okay, Pablo, I see you. 2A. Let us test if you were correct, Pablo. But I've got no doubt that you are. Let's see. Okay, so we pop in a 5 in there. Let's start with a plus, square root. Open the bracket, put a 5, close it, square it, minus 4. Open the bracket, put a 2, close it, open, and -3, close it. Go downstairs, put a 2, open, put another 2, close. Oh, I get a half, Pablo. Okay. So just remember, this is actually k, it's not x. So k is equals to a half, okay? Or k is equals to, let's see, let's go remove that negative sign there. This is what Petty was talking about. There's an easier way of doing this. I just don't know how, but Petty does. Equals to -3. Now we have to substitute back the value of k. We said k is equals to 2 to the power x, right? So then we'll say 2 to the power x is equals to a half, right? Or 2 to the power x is equals to -3. Now let's work at this. Is this possible? Can I rewrite a half in terms of a base of 2? Let's check. So a half, I can rewrite it by saying 2. To change a denominator to a numerator, you introduce a -1 at the top. Therefore, we can say x is equals to -1. Yes, Pablo was correct, but this can never be true. Okay, never. So we must reject it. This can never be true. Pablo, 100%. I never doubted you, buddy. Gamo Hello says, so we are solving for K. Yes, we solve for K first and then we solve for X, because the question, if you read the question, it says solve for X, but we introduced a K in order to solve for X. And then Dina says, say, is it a must to use the K method? It's not a must. It just makes it easier. Okay, because if you were still working with these surds, I just don't see how you do it. Yes, you can use the quadratic and say that's the value of A, that's the value of B, that's the value of C, and then put it in your quadratic equation. Just remember, you'd be solving for 2 to the power. There is a way. You can factorize as well. It's up to you. It's just the K method is much easier. And your test, it will need, there is a question that will need K method. So everything I've done so far, make sure you understand, because you will need all of this. Okay, let's move to question 2. Right. Pablo says, say I meant the final answer. Yes, I know. All right, let's move to question 2. So tomorrow, on Monday, you will write question 2 to show that we are now working on question 2. And we're starting with 2.1. Solve for X and Y simultaneously. Okay, so the first equation is X minus 2Y is equals to 2. This is equation number 1. And then the other one is X squared plus xy minus 5x. Let's see the whole question. Plus 3y is equals to 3. Peter Shirley says, hi everyone. Welcome, Shirley. So this is equation 2. Let's create equation 3. You always take the simplest one and make x or y the subject of the formula. I'll make x, it's much easier. It becomes 2 plus 2y, because when we do the mathematical gymnastics, minus becomes plus. So this becomes equation 3. Now what we'll do, we'll take equation 3, put it into equation 2. Now that means where we have an x, we will substitute, let's do this. We'll substitute 2 plus 2y, and then it's squared, plus, there's another x, so all substitutions must be put in brackets, 2y, and it has a y. Okay, and then it has a minus, so I write a minus, and then it has a 5, so I write a 5. Then it has an x, we need to substitute 2 plus 2y, and then it has a plus, I'll put in a plus, and then it has a 3y, I'm running out of space, is equals to 3. I'll just put it there for now. Okay, let's work this. It's a very long equation. Whenever I have a square, do not waste time. Just open brackets. This will ensure that you don't make mistakes in expanding this thing, because if you don't, you get something wrong. Okay, so this one becomes y times 2, which is 2y. Also do these things that I'm doing, these butterfly things I'm doing. I don't know what to call them. And y times 2y becomes 2y squared. minus negative 5 times 2 becomes minus 10. Negative 5 times positive 2 becomes minus 10y. And then I've got plus 3y is equals to 3. Let's expand more. 2 times 2 becomes 4. 2 times positive 2y becomes 4y. Does anyone have an answer yet? Nobody. Okay, let's move. 2y times 2 becomes plus 2, not 2, man, plus 4. You see, these mistakes happen when you're writing and you are under pressure. Just make sure you correct them. 2 times 2 is plus 4, and then y times y is y squared. And then I've got plus, I'm just going to rewrite everything else. Okay, plus 2y squared minus 10 minus 10y plus 3y equals to 3. Now I want to put, it looks like I have to put everything into one side. Okay, let's start with the y squared. I've got 4y squared plus 2y squared, which gives me 6y squared. Now let's look at the values of y. I've got 4 plus 4, which gives me 8y, plus 2, that's 10y. Is there another y? Minus 10y, that gives me 0, plus 3y, and so that's plus 3y. Think so. If I miss something, you let me know. Now let's look at the numbers. I've got 4, no number, minus 10, that gives me minus 6. And then if I bring the 3 to the other side, it becomes minus 6 minus 3, which gives me minus 9. Is equals to 0. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like I gotta use the quadratic equation. Let's go for it. I'm getting tired of it, but we just have to do it all the time. You have to learn it. So b is 3 plus or minus square root of b squared, which is still 3 squared minus 4a is 6, and then minus 9. Okay. All over 2 times a, which is 6. Let's put this in a calculator. So we start with our, nobody has an answer. Haha. That means I'm the fastest one here. Put a 3 there, close it, plus square root, open, put a 3, close it, squared, minus 4, open, put in a 6, close it, open again, put in a negative 9, close it. Then go downstairs, 2, open, put in a 6, close, equals to 1. So y is equals to 1, or replay, go back, change a plus into a minus, or y is equals to negative 3 over 2. So what you have to do now, remember we're solving for x and y, not just y. And to solve for x, we have to go back to equation 3. Okay, equation 3 was x is equals to 2 plus 2y. Okay, so now let's pop in the value of y. For the first one, substitutions. Okay, there we go. And this becomes 2 plus 2, which is 4. This side, My substitution will be 2 plus 2, and then it's negative 3 over 2. Where did we get that from? Right on top. Well, for this one, I need a calculator. Don't judge me. If you can do it on your head, well done to you, madam or sir. Open the bracket. I've got a fraction with a negative 3 on top. Come downstairs, go to the side ones, close the bracket. This equals to -1. Wow. Okay, I can just stop right there. If you want to write it nicely, you can do that. Kamohelo says, if it was for 4 marks, how many marks is it for? Can't be 4 marks. If it was for 4 marks, then it's much easier. It's 6 marks right now. I don't think they would make it 4 marks, Kamohelo. There's too much work to be done just for 4 marks. Okay, let's look at 2.2 now. I've got 144 to the power n times, open brackets, 3, -1 on top, and then I've got 2n minus 1. This is all over 4 to the power 2n minus 1. Let's check your comments. Nothing's there. All right, so for this one, whenever you get exponents, these types of questions, just make sure that the bases are always the product of its prime factors. Always. General rule. So we're going to have to change 144 to prime numbers. 3 is already a prime number, so that's cool. 4 will have to change to a product of its prime numbers as well. So how do we do that? You go to your calculator. Now I'm using an old calculator here. It doesn't have the factorial part there, but I do have a cracked version, which is similar to the one that you have. It's a little bit smaller, but as you can see, cracked version there. It's got the shift fact there. So what you do is you say 140. Oh, come on, calculator. What is going on with you? Let's bring it back. Let's go Casio. Yeah, it's this one. So you would go 144 and then hit equals and then shift fact. 144 can be written as 2 to the power 4 times. Okay, let's do that. So this becomes 2 to the power 4 times 3 to the power 2, close it, to the power of n. I just rewrote that. Times, I'm going to leave everything else exactly as it is for now. This is 2n minus 1, because I like doing one thing at a time. Let's do it again with the 4. Now we all know that 4 is actually 2 to the power 2. I'm not even going to bother with this calculator, honestly. So open a bracket once again, 2 to the power of 2. Close the bracket. Outside, I have 2n minus 1. So from here, I can get rid of the brackets now. Okay, let's get rid of the brackets. We're going to say 2 to the power 4, multiply the n in. It becomes 4n times 3 to the power, the n multiplies this 2n times, okay, multiply this one. With that, it becomes 3 to the power negative 2n, it's fine, times 3 to the power, the negative 1 multiplies that one. It becomes -1 times -1 is just a positive 1. This is all over. We do the same thing. 2 to the power, let's get more space. So it's a 2 times a 2, which is a 4n times 2 to the power 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. Now, as you can see, everything is in terms of 2 and 3. Let's start with 2 and all values that have 2. So I've got a 4n first. That's the only 2 I have on top. And then at the bottom, remember exponents, we subtract them. It becomes minus 4n. We subtract a negative 2 again, and it becomes plus 2. Okay, because a negative and a negative makes a positive. And then times 3, and then I've got 2n, that's the first one, minus 2n, because that's the second one. For this one, it becomes plus 1. There's no 3 at the bottom. Okay, so we simplify further. Let's continue. 4n minus 4n is 0 plus 2, so it's 2 to the power 2 times 2n minus, in terms of 3 now, 2n minus 2n is 0 plus 1, so there we go. 2 to the power 2 is 4 times 3 to the power 1 is just 3, so our final answer is 12. There we go. We are done with that one. Let's move. Let's check your comments. Kamohelo says, "Sir, where do you get the marks for question 2.1? Oh, the marks are right here. See, the question has the marks right here. Look at that. 6 marks. The one we just did now, 4 marks. So all these questions have marks. It's just that my window is a little bit small. Okay, so what was this? What were we doing? 2.2. Right. Let's go for 2.3 now. 2.3. We've got n and a square root sign, and we've got 6n plus 3n plus 2 all over 2n plus 9. Now, like I said, all numbers when it comes to these questions must be changed to a product of its prime factors when it comes to questions with an exponent. Nompumelelo says, "Sir, since you saw the paper, what we are doing now is it's similar to what you saw on the paper. Maybe the only different thing right now is numbers." Now, let me just say, in mathematics, you will never, ever get the same question. It's always going to be something you've never seen. We just teach you the principles of solving the questions. For an example, I've done all these questions for you using the quadratic equation. So the principle you are learning here is that you can use quadratic equation for all of these questions. For this one with the surd, the principle there, make the surd the subject of the formula. Okay, for this one, the principle is break it down first and introduce k. All right, and simultaneous, the principle there is, make an equation 3 and substitute it back. So that's what I'm teaching you, but the question will definitely not be the same, but the principle will be exactly the same. So yours tomorrow, maybe it has a y there, is equal to 2x. I don't know. I don't remember it very vividly, but what we are doing today, these principles I'm reminding you of, you will need them tomorrow. And the principle here is to change all bases to the product of its prime factors. Okay, also this one that we're doing now. So no, the questions are not exactly the same. Neither are they like a change of numbers, but the principle that you will need is the same. By the way, we're not allowed to do what you are suggesting me to do, which is just use the same questions and change the values there and there. We're not allowed to do that. It is wrong, it's unethical. And besides, I don't even remember the exact questions. All I was looking at is, have I taught you the principles of answering those questions? And the answer was yes, I have. And these are the principles we're going through right now. Okay, let us continue. 6 has to change to the product. It becomes 2 times 3 to the power n plus, I'm going to break this down immediately. It becomes 3n times 3 to the power 2 all over 2n plus, let me change the 9 as well. It becomes 3 to the power 2, does it? To the power of 2. 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, so that's what we're doing. Let's continue simplifying further. The n is still out there. This becomes 2n times 3n, because remember the n multiplies in, plus 3n times 3 to the power 2. Right, let's continue there. And at the bottom, we're going to have 2n plus 3 to the power of 2. I'm sure you're wondering, what's going to happen now? What's going to happen? Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Watch what happens. We are going to factorize out 3 to the power n since it's a common factor. So I take out 3 to the power n. And then inside, to get this whole expression, I need to multiply 3 to the power n with 2 to the power n. Plus, to get this whole expression, I multiply 3 to the power n with 3 to the power 2. Close it. I'm sure you can see what's going to happen now. 2n plus 3 to the power 2. You see it? You see it? Pablo, I see your question. Just hold on, player. So what I'm going to do now is just cancel common factors. This cancels with that, and I will be left with n square root sign 3 to the power of n. Now, if you remember what this actually means, if I'm to rewrite this, this becomes 3 to the power n divided by the n that's outside. So this becomes 3 to the power 1, which is just 3. There we go. All right, we took the first hour to do algebra, and we are done now. The time is 1:12, which means we've used our first hour. The second hour, we are going to do these function questions. Okay, and before we do that, let's just take a 1-minute break. I need to drink something. Let's answer Pablo first. Pablo said, "Sir, did you see nature of roots on the paper tomorrow?" I am not sure. I'm really not sure. I don't remember. I just skimmed through the question paper really fast. And like I said, I wasn't looking at specific questions. I was just looking at, can you do this? Did I teach you the principles to answer all these questions? And the answer was yes. Nature of roots is part of algebra. It might or might not be there, but to be on the safe side, just look at it briefly, real quick. Okay, real quick. Question 3. Let me go get myself a little drink, and I will be back. So for now, I'll leave this window on. You can just look at the question a little bit. There we go. and try figure it out. What must you do if you have time? Otherwise, let's take a 2-minute break. Let me just go get myself a little energy drink. I drank my drink, eating an apple. Mm. Any other questions, sir? Pablo says, sir, are we going to do the same thing for Pepper too? What same thing? You mean like alive? Mm, yeah, sometime during the week, we're going to have to um, do the same thing for Pepper too. We are going to have a little revision task. Okay. Okay, let's look at question 3 real quick now. Now that you've read the question, I don't have to reread it for you. So let's go. Question 3. In your test, you must write question 3 so that we know now you are doing question 3. 3.1. Now, always read the statement, okay? And it says the diagram below represents the graph. What type of graph is this? It's a hyperbole. A is the point 3 and 7. Okay, I see it. It passes the graph. It is a point on the graph of F. Now, the first question is write down the equation of the asymptote of F. Okay, asymptotes. Asymptotes you just read off from the equation. There's no solving there. I'll start with the x1 because it's a little bit, you know, but you see it says x there. So I'll write x is equals to, if I solve for x here, it's going to be x is equals to a positive 2. That's all. And then the y is this one. That one is just going to be y is equals to 4. Take it exactly as it is. Do not change the sign for the 4. You only do it for the x. 3.2, show that p is equals to 3. Now, I know what most of you do. You take this 3 and substitute it back into the equation, but that is wrong. Don't do that. Okay. What you should do is write the equation y is equals to p over x minus 2 plus 4. And then write one point which this graph passes, just one. They gave us 3 and 7. So I'm going to put 3 and 7. On top of 3, I'll put x. On top of y, of 7, I'll put y. So in the place where I have a y, I'll put a 7 is equals to p over, I have an x, so I'll put a 3 minus 2 plus 4. All that's left for me to do to solve for p is do mathematical gymnastics, but let's see what it looks like. I've got p. 3 minus 2 is just 1 plus 4. Now this looks like this. 7 is equals to p plus 4. Okay, so the value of p now becomes 7. Do mathematical gymnastics. Okay, therefore p is equals to 7 minus 4 is 3. That's how you do it. How many marks was this, you ask? Let me show you. This was 2 marks. As a matter of fact, all these questions are worth 2 marks. Okay, so now it says determine the equation of h, which is formed when f is shifted 3 units down and 1 unit to the left. Let's read that again. Slowly this time. And let me just write 3.3. First of all, it says determine the equation of h. Okay. There is h, which is formed when f. Okay, let me write f. So h is formed, which means it's equals to the equation of f, which is, I'll write the whole equation, 3 over x minus 2 plus 4. When f, what happens to f? Is shifted 3 units down. 3 units down, that affects the y. The 4, 3 units down is just minus 3. That's what it affects. And then it says, and 1 unit to the left. now that affects the x. This is now a horizontal shift. A shift to the left is positive, right? So we say plus 1. It's a positive shift. Okay, remember, a shift to the right is a negative shift. A shift to the left is a positive shift. So that's what it becomes. And then finally, my h is equals to 3 over x minus 2 plus 1 is minus 1. And then here, 4 minus 3 is plus 1. Right, that's it. 2 marks. So please re-explain 3.3. 3.3. Oh, yes. So I was saying to you, okay, a shift down is a vertical shift. It's either you're going up or you are going down. Now, if you're going up, that is a positive shift. If you are going down, that's a negative shift. So it says we are going down. So we say minus 3 because it said 3 units down. So that's why we said minus 3 because we're going down. And then a horizontal shift is either you go to the right or you go to the left. When you go to the right, that's a positive shift. No. It's the other way around. Remember, these are positive numbers that going to the right, but going to the right is a negative shift, and going to the left is a positive shift. You must cram these things. But it said we are going 1 unit to the left, which is a positive shift by 1 unit. That's why we said plus 1 at the bottom. Yeah, these principles, you have to cram them or just know them. That's all you need for these types of questions. All right. Okay, let's move on to question 3.4. So 3.4 says, for which values of x is f decreasing? Okay, so decreasing, for this decreasing, it means I'm coming from negative infinity, or from the left, I'm going to the right, and I hit the graph. If it takes me down, if the graph takes me down, then this is decreasing. Okay, decreasing. If the graph takes me up, then this is increasing. Now let's look at this graph. I'm coming from negative infinity. First of all, the graph takes me down because it's shaped like this. And then there's an asymptote, which means the graph is not there at all. Okay? And then I'm still coming from the left, and I hit the graph after 2. The asymptote, remember we said it's at 2. Okay, at positive 2. Okay, at x is equals to positive 2. And then I hit the graph again. It still takes me down. I hit the graph, it takes me down. So this graph, and we are looking at values of x. So what I do is I write the inequality sign. I say it's taking me down from, I'm coming from negative infinity, and it takes me down all the way to positive infinity, except at where x is equals to 2. The graph is not there, so I reject that part. That part is rejected. Another way you can write is that x is an element of all real numbers, which means the graph exists in all real numbers except where x is equals to 2. You reject that. So you can write it like this as well. It's up to you. That's the final answer. All right, so we're done with that. Unless there's any other questions, I see nothing there. We are moving on. Question 4. Question 4. So this is what you'll write in your test. Question 4. Okay, let's read it. The diagram below represents the graphs of the following. I've got a quadratic one, and I've got a straight line. And then it says, determine the coordinates of. So I'm going to write 4.1.1. It wants the coordinates of A. Remember, coordinates are in terms of X and Y. So we're solving both of those. 4 marks. 4 marks, which means we're going to work a little bit here. Okay, so turning point, the equation we are given of F is negative 2x squared plus 8x plus 10. Now, if we're given the equation in this form, that means to solve the turning point, the x value, it is going to be minus b over 2a. Now, let's substitute minus. This comes from the quadratic equation where the discriminant is 0. So I'll be left with this. Anyway, that's the value of A, that's B, that's C. Substitute it. Value of B is just 8 over 2. A is negative 2. Always take numbers with their signs. Now I know what you're thinking. You can do this in your head. I don't doubt you, but you want to be 100% sure. So use a calculator, please. Put an 8 there, close it, go down. 2 times negative 2, close it, exactly as it looks there. It's a positive 2. Okay, this is just the x value. You are not done. I know most of you would leave it here, but please do not. We are looking for a coordinate. This means to find the y, substitute back into the original equation, which is minus 2. Substitutions must be done in brackets, plus 8, I have an x, put a 2 again, plus 10. Don't even try to do this in your head. Don't even dare. Open the bracket, put a 2, close it, square, plus 8, open, 2, close, plus 10. This is equals to 18. Okay, so now we're going to answer the question and say the coordinate of A is 2 and 18. Now you have answered the question. Very well done, Nompumelelo. You solved it before I did. Now let's go to 4.1.2. I'm looking for B and C. What is B and C? Oh, B and C, these are the x intercepts. So to solve the x-intercepts, we say let y equals to 0. So it becomes 0 is equals to minus 2x squared plus 8x plus 10. Let's see who can solve it faster. If you have the answer, pop it in the comment section. Once again, it's a quadratic equation. Let's use the quadratic formula. Once again, my values of x are equals to minus b. B is 8 plus or minus square root of b squared, which is 8 squared minus 4. A is negative 2, and then C is 10. So you see how important this formula is. We've been using it over and over and over. My goodness, we're even tired of it. But do not get tired of doing good. Okay, let's see. Let's bring out our calculator. I've got a fraction, negative sign. Put it exactly as it looks. Close. We'll start with a plus. A square root sign. Open. Put a 8. Close. Put a square. Minus 4. Open. Negative 2. Close. Open again. Put a 10. Close. Go downstairs. Put a 2. Open. Negative 2. Close. And we get x is equals to negative 1. And x, replay, back, delete that one, put it negative there, 5. Okay, so remember what this question wants. It said coordinate of B and C. It wants a coordinate. So to complete the coordinate, B, you can see that B is on the right. Now the number on the right is 5. So to complete, you're going to say B is equals to 5. That's the x value. And the y, remember we said let y equal 0. So we'll see y is 0. And for C, C is on the left. The number on the left between these two x coordinates is negative 1 and 0. What did I do here? This is the value of C. Very good. Pablo, oh yes. Dina, oh yes. Nompumelelo, oh yes. But the one who is more correct than all of you is Pablo, because he gave me the coordinate. You guys, you solved, the rest of you, you just solved x and x, but that's an incomplete answer. Remember, the question wants coordinates. It's not looking for values of x only. It's looking for a coordinate. Now, the next one says we are now looking for the coordinate of r. So this is 4.1.3 now. Now, what is r? Ooh, look at that. R is an intercept, which means I must now equate 5 marks. Must now equate the two equations. So this is where f of x meets g of x, where they are both equal. So I'll take the equation of f, which is minus 2x squared plus 8x plus 10 is equals to g, which is negative 2x minus 2. I'm going to bring them all to the same side. Minus 2x squared. If I bring this to the other side, it becomes positive, and I have 8x plus 2x, which gives me 10x. If I bring the negative 2 to the other side, it becomes 10 plus 2, which is 12, equals to 0. What do we do next? You guessed it. You guessed it. The quadratic equation again. That's A, that's B, that's C. So you absolutely have to learn this principle of the quadratic equation. Please. It'll make you pass mathematics. Okay, so B is 10 plus or minus square root of B, which is 10 squared minus 4A is negative 2, and C is 12. All over 2 times the value of A is negative 2. Bring back our calculator. Come on, calculator. Start with the fraction. Negative 10. If any of you still doesn't know how to use the quadratic equation, I'm gonna need to beat you up, because we've been doing this. This is like the umpteenth time. I'm sure we are all tired of this quadratic equation, but it is the principle that always works. Always works. 2 times negative 2. So I get x is equals to negative 1. Okay. Or x is equals to, let's scroll back, go back. Petty said there's an easier way of doing this substitution, deleting a positive, putting a negative. Just don't know it. Or x is equals to 6. Now check this out. We are looking for r, right? The x values are these two options. If you look at r, it's on the right, okay, which means we are working with this one, which is on the right. Negative 1, that's that C value there. For r, look at Pablo. He already has the value of r. Now remember the question. What did the question want? It wants a coordinate. It wants x and y. Now we've only solved for x. To solve for y, you can substitute into any of them. Let me use G, because we've been using F. So I'm going to substitute 6, and it becomes minus 2. Put in a 6 minus 2. Now I know you can do this in your head, but under the pressure of your exam, use your calculator. It's always going to be right. Okay. And you get minus 14. So to complete and answer the question, we are going to say r is 6 and negative 14. Let's see, Pablo got it right. Yes, he did. Pablo, just remember, with your quadratic equation, do not change the signs. Okay, whatever you get in your calculator, that's the answer. What's this now? 4.2. 4.2 says, okay, let's write 4.2. It says if OD is equals to 1 unit. OD is 1 unit. Determine the length of PQ. Oh, hold on. 1 unit. PQ. I don't know how to do this question, so let's skip it. I'm just tired now, guys. How do you write an exam for 2 or 3 hours without taking a break? I'm tired already. Okay, let's look at 4.3. Determine the average gradient of the parabola between B and R. B and R. I'm tired, guys. I don't know how to do this question. Like, I'm going to leave these questions to you to do. Okay, so you will complete these, or when we have more time at the end, we'll come back. But they're really not that hard. Just remember that when it comes to these average gradients, gradient is change in y over change in x, or y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Just remember that. That's all you have to do. That's all you have to do. Ask me for the memo at the end, and I'll show you. And you already have these values anyway. It's between r and what is it? What? B and r. B, you already know. B, we solved it. And r, we solved it. So it's really not that. Okay. I know I said I don't know how to do it. That was an incorrect statement. I just don't want to do it. I don't. You can do it. But for the sake of, let me see, who do I like here? For the sake of Patty, let me complete this question. Patty, let's say y2 is r. So this is going to represent y2. That's going to be x1. That's r. They said between r and b. Where is b? We solve b somewhere there. So this is going to be y1 and x1. So all I'm going to do is say what is y2? The value of y2 is negative 14 minus the value of y1. Let's go check what y1 was. 0. Okay, so put in 0 there. It looks like a 6, so close it up so it looks like a 0. Divide by x2. Who put x1 there? This is x2. So x2 is 6 minus x1. X1 is 5. I know you can do this in your head, but please don't. Under the stress of the exam, you really don't want to make mistakes. So it's 14 minus 0. Come downstairs, rewrite it exactly as it looks there. Don't need to think. Pablo is asking how many marks for 4.2. Did I was too lazy for it. 4 marks. Okay, so this is 4.3. 4.2, just to give you a clue what you have to do. It says, I really don't want to do this one. PQ. I really don't want to do this. Anyway, it's 4 marks, Pablo. I want to move into important questions. There we go. Let's look at this one. You need to learn how to answer this one as well. This one says the sketch below is the graph of f. What type of graph is this? This is a what type of graph is this? Oh, I'm tired, man. What is this? Exponential graph. And it's given by 2b to the power x plus 1 plus q. And then they tell us that the graph passes through point A, which is 1 and 20, and B, which is minus 1 and y. I see those points. And then the line y is equals to 2 is an asymptote of f. Okay, there we go. Show that the equation of f is that. Now, we need to solve for that. Come back here. You are going to write in your exam that we are doing question 5. And then we're starting with 5.1. How many marks does it have? To solve for the equation, 3 marks. Okay, let's write everything that we know currently. We know that the equation is y is equals to 2 times b, and then x plus 1 plus q. Okay, we also know the asymptote is y is equals to 2. So that the asymptote, if you remember your theory, is the value of q there. So let's do that. Let's substitute the value of q, leaving everything else exactly the same. It's just going to say 2. So it's plus 2. It went 2 units up from the mother function. The mother function, the asymptote is at y is equals to 0. But since it moved 2 units up, we move the whole asymptote to 2. Okay, what else do we know? Now, we need to solve for b. So what we're going to do is substitute a point where the graph passes. That's 1 and 20 for an example. And 1 is x, 20 is y. So now we can substitute the values. Where y is 20 is equals to 2 times b, x is 1, so it becomes 1 plus 1, and then plus 2. Everything else remains the same. Now we're going to do a bit of mathematical gymnastics. Take the 2 to the other side, and it becomes 20 minus 2, which is 18. And then I'll be left with 2b. 1 plus 1 is 2. Now I need to get rid of this 2, so I divide both sides by 2. 18 divided by 2, this one you can go ahead, do it in your head. But if you are not sure, let me show you how to use a calculator. You're just going to say 18 divided by 2. Okay, so you've got 9 is equals to b squared. Now I'm looking for a value of b, which means I need to rewrite 9 in terms of 2 as an exponent, because it's 2, 2. Okay, 2, 2. And now I'm looking for b. What does b have to be? It has to be, you guessed it, Pablo said b is 3. That is very correct, Pablo. B is 3. Therefore, b is equals to 3. There we go. Cool. Let's move on. Next question. Calculate the y coordinate of point B. Oh, wait. Hold up, nigga. What did the question want in 5.1? Show the equation. We have solved for B. It's because we're tired now, so we're not thinking straight. We've just solved for B, but now we need to plug everything in. So the equation of f of x is equals to 2 times b. We've solved it to be 3. Everything else stays the same. X plus 1 and then plus 2. Very good. Now we've shown that the equation is this. Just rewrite the statement. Okay, let's go for 5.2 now. Calculate the y coordinate of the point B. Okay, so we have the equation, which is y is equals to 2 times 3 x plus 1 plus 2. And then they gave us the point B, which is -1 and y. Now this represents x, that's y. You guessed it, we're just going to substitute. So y, substitute y is equals to 2 times 3 -1 plus 1 plus 2. Okay. No, you can do it in your head or not, but let's use a calculator. 2 times 3 to the power -1 plus 1. Rewrite it exactly as it looks. Go down, plus 2 is equals to 4. Pablo is on a roll here. Y is equals to 4. Now, what did it want? Go back to the quotient. What does it want? Does it want y? Calculate the y coordinate of point B. So that's all we do. Very good. Utilo, very good. Y is equals to 4. Now let's go for 5.3. 5.3 says determine the average gradient. There we go again with that average gradient. This time 2 marks. I feel like we've done this question before. How much time we got? Still got 15 minutes, which means we can do it. Definitely. Between points A and B. So we know the gradient is equals to y2 minus y1. Why am I doing this again? X1. So that's going to be equals to, now let's go and name them. Let me just rewrite them here. Let's start with the point A. The point A, the coordinates of point A is, I don't know, what are they? Oh, there they are. 1 and 20. And then for B, they are -1, and we just solved 4 on top. So I need to assign them. Let's make this one x1, y1. Let's make this one x2, y2. Cool. Now we can substitute without thinking much. Y2 is 4 minus y1. Where's y1? Oh, there we go. Y1 is 20. All over x2 is -1 minus x1 is 1. Let's bring back the calculator. And then we get m is 8. Okay, let's see if you're correct. 4 minus 20 divided by -1 minus 1. That's equals to 8. So m is equals to 8. This is the average gradient. There we go. Yep. That's all we're going to do for today. Oh, we're done in record time. We're left with 10 minutes. So your test is going to have all the functions. As you can see, we've dealt with exponential. We've dealt with a straight line, a parabola, and we've also dealt with a hyperbola. One thing I didn't do with these graphs is draw them. I was just interpreting today, but practice drawing them as well. Just to remind you on how to draw Pablo, let's do 4.2. I don't want to do 4.2. Not because it's easy, because it's hard. I know it's hard. That's exactly why I don't want to do it. I will leave it to you. If you want the memo, I'll send it to you. I'll send you this document with its memo. And we always have to leave a caveat, right? We can't get 100% all the time. So can you please send this question paper Yes, like I said, if you want this question paper, drop me a WhatsApp. My number is 076 312 1107. That is my cell phone number. WhatsApp. What's WhatsApp? I'm pretty sure this is not how you spell WhatsApp. Because we are tired, I'm spelling things wrong. WhatsApp. There we go. WhatsApp me on this number and I will send you this memo. I'll think about 4.2, okay? Well, let's make 4.2 a challenge. If you get 4.2 right and you send me your solution on my WhatsApp, I might give you a prize. Yeah. There's a prize up for grabs. Someone has to win it. And to win it, get 4.2 correct. It's not that hard. I mean, they give you OD 1 unit, determine PQ. So you already know the X value of D is 1. The coordinate is 1 and 0 of D. And you have the two graphs that you've been given. You've been given the parabola, so substitute the X value there, which is 1, and also the straight line, which is 1. Substitute those values there, and then you would get Y values. You take those two Y values, add them together, and then you've got your length. Okay, so that's a clue right there. Listen to what I said, and you can do it. I believe in you. I can't spoon feed you everything, but this part, I'm going to leave it up to you to do. I've already given you a clue on what to do. Okay. All right, so where was I? Oh, drawing the functions. Okay, so drawing. Remember with a straight line, you just say let x equals 0, and then you'll say let y equals 0. And then you join those 2 points. Get 2 points, join them. That's a straight line. Your parabola, you're still gonna say let x equals 0 and let y equals 0. Okay, let y equals 0. You still get your x and y intercepts, and you need to solve your turning point. That's all you need to draw a parabola. Turning point, we already done it here. You know how to solve it. And then for a hyperbola, you still say let x equals to 0, let y equals to 0 to get your intercepts. So you're always going to do this. And then you're going to solve your asymptotes. Asymptotes, you just get them from the equation. You just read them off. Okay, like we did here. Asymptotes, you just read them off from the equation that you're given. Okay, it's these values of x and y. So they are also in terms of x and y. Just remember the x is the horizontal one, and then the y one is, what did I say? No, the y one is the horizontal one that passes a value of y, and then the x one is the vertical one that passes the point of x there, that cuts the x axis. Okay, And then that's how to draw a hyperbola. What's the last one? It's an exponential. How do we draw an exponential? Still say let x equals to 0, let y equals to 0. So you can see for all of them, you're still going to say let x equals to 0. But also you need an asymptote for this one. Okay, this one only has one asymptote, and it is the one that cuts the y-axis. So it's in terms of y is equals to only one asymptote for the exponential. As you could see here, our exponential, it only had this one, y is equals. This is an exponential graph. That's all you need for to draw the exponential graph. Okay, let me check your comments now. Pablo says PQ is 12 units. All right, we've got 5 minutes. Let's check you real quick, really quick. Where's that question? 4.2. Really quick. Let's check you, Pablo. Let us check you. If you're correct, you win the prize. Okay. 4.2. Like I said, do not do this in the exam where you write a random question at a random place. The correct thing to do is go back to question 4. There's question 4. I left a space for it. I can, do it over here. I need to find a spot for it. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just do it in this little space here. I can also do it here under question 4.2. Yes, I can do that. So what I'll do, this is what you should do. Cancel it and there, and then come down here and say, sir, I'm now doing 4.2. It's under question 4. I'm not putting it under question 5. That is the wrong thing to do. You must put it under question 4. So there we go, 4.2. Okay, like I said, we've got 5 minutes. It's a how many mark question? 5 mark. So we should spend around 5 minutes doing it. So first of all, we said the point D. Point D is 1 and 0 because we are told it is 1 unit. OD is 1 unit. So this is the X and that's the Y. Now what I want to do is solve the Y values where X is this. So let's start with the F. So F where X is 1 is equals to minus 2, 1 squared plus 8 times 1 plus 10. You get my answer there. And then for G, where it's 1, it's going to be negative 2, 1 minus 2. And then we'll get our G there. Bring your calculator out. Let's start with the F. It's negative 2. Open the bracket. I put 1, close it, square, plus 8, open, 1, close, plus 10. And then we get 16. Okay? And then let's go for the second one. It's negative 2, 1, close it, minus 2 is equals to negative 4. Okay, so what this means is, I see a lot of you are a little bit confused. So remember, we have the point P up here, and then we have the point D down here, and then we have the point Q down here. And the question said it just wants, it's talking in terms of units. It just wants a length. Now remember, length, how can I put this? It doesn't matter whether it's negative or positive. Length is length. In fact, a negative, because it's -4 here, it just means a change of direction from D. So this is 4 units. From D to Q, that's 4 units. From D to P, that is now 16 units. So the question wanted the length PQ. So to get the length PQ, we're going to say from P to D, we've got 16 units. From D to Q plus 4 units. I know it's at -4, but it doesn't matter. That's just a direction. And then 16 plus 4 is 20. What did Pablo get? Pablo, you got 12 units, my man. No, no, no. The answer is 20. So PQ is 20. Very good. PQ is 20. Who was the first one to get it? Pablo, you're cheating. Nah, dog. No, man. Anyway, time's up now. I left with 1 minute. Any other question before we let me check my WhatsApp in case someone got it correct. Let's announce it. Sir, this is Nompumelelo. 12 units, Nompumelelo. You WhatsApp me 12 units. No, it's not the correct answer. Who is this one? Hello, sir. Please send the question paper and memo, sir. I was watching you, just did not call me. I am Yakim. Okay, so what I'm going to do is convert this file into a PDF, and then I will WhatsApp to you guys right now. There it is. Yes. Oh gosh, it wants me to close this first. Okay, there we go. Let's convert it right now. Yes. Okay, so this file that I'm going to send you, Yakim, it's this whole one. So as you can see, yeah, it's the question paper. There we go. Got all the questions nicely written here, and then here is the memo. Nicely written as we did it together. I'll send you that. Who's this? Good afternoon, sir. May you please send the work and memo? I'll send it to you. PQ is 20 units. You sent me this answer, whoever you are. You didn't say your name here. After I had solved it for you, so disqualified. And then the last one, someone changed their answer. Well, looks like nobody wins the prize. Pablo, you sent your answer late. Dina, you are correct. You're saying yes, Pumi got 20, but she deleted it. You guys like doing this. You delete wrong answers even in your test. And you had gotten it right. You must trust yourself, Nompumelelo. Don't say I did say 20 units at first, but I did. Don't delete correct answers, Nompumelelo. Don't delete correct answers. Be confident of your answers, okay? You should have left it there. You would have won the prize. Pablo says that I want my prize. Pablo, you were late. You were very late, my man. I'd already solved it for you. Natasha says Mpumi. I don't know what that's about. But anyway, we are done, ladies and gentlemen. There is nothing else for me to do except say bye. That's it from myself. I hope you pass on Monday. And as you see, we did all questions within 2 hours. You can do it to do 2 on Monday when you write your test. So all the best to you. All the best to you. Just Petty says prize. Mpumi what? I don't know what that is. What that means. Mpumi got it. Yes, the reason Mpumi is disqualified is because she deleted the answer. She deleted it. So you gotta be confident. Okay? Confidence is key. Okay. Pablo says, sir, give Mpumi her prize. Mpumi, you deserve your prize. You deserve it. But because you deleted it, you are disqualified. I can't give it to you. Nothing else. Well, if there's nothing, okay. My wife says, well done, love. All the best to the grade 11s. All the best to the grade 11s. Stay tuned for Pepper 2 revision. We'll have to do it sometime during the week. Just watch out for my adverts. I'm not sure when yet, but you gotta write paper 1 first, and then we can discuss where we can have the revision for paper 2. Dompumelelo says, it's fine, sir, as long as I got it right. That's the spirit, Dompumelelo. On your test, don't cancel correct answers. Pablo says, sir, tell us what's in paper 2. Okay, let me just tell you, because you should actually have the framework. Just check your groups, it should be there. Everyone has it. And if I check this group, it'll be analytical geometry. It's also 100 marks, 2 hours. Analytical geometry, trigonometry, and Euclidean. Euclidean. You have to concentrate on that one. Euclidean. We'll have to put more work there. I know it's a weak point for most of you, but we'll work through it. Yes, we will. Any other questions? No? Okay. Well, if there's nothing else, that's it from myself. Goodbye. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye-bye. Oh, let me send an emoticon. Which one am I going to send? Let me send a heart. Heart. See it on the screen? Heart. Ha! 2 hearts. 3 hearts. 4 hearts. Wow, that is nice. Just keep pressing the hearts. Anyway, bye.